Good morning, traders. Welcome to StockCast. My name is Todd Derby, along with co-host James Mason. Good morning, James. How are we doing today?
Todd, I'm doing well. How are you?
I'm doing well. Where's Johnny? I thought he wanted us to do this epic show today. Where is he? The show must go on.
Show must go on. Yep.
So let's get right to it. People are expecting a special guest, and let's introduce him. Duke, come here.
Come on, Duke.
Come on, Duke.
Here we go.
Here we go. Here's your special guest. He's excited to be on the show today.
Duke, what are we trading today?
Duke, yeah, he's like, okay, Pets Plus store, PETZ.
All right. This Karen Bob looks different.
This is the best show ever already, and we're only in 3 minutes.
I know. I mean, it's just like magic. You
You
never know what you're going to get on the show. You never know.
All right.
All right. So really quick, Dow Futures currently up 230 points. S&P 500 is up 16 points. And this could just be one of those little petty overextended bounces. It's hard to say, really. I mean, because really the market is just, it's taking beating. It's in the downtrend. And when you have such a strong downtrend, the way that the SPY is currently moving, well, it's kind of the way you have to look at everything. So I wouldn't get me personally, I'm not going to get too excited over this little bullish bounce. I'm just going to wait for entries. I don't think this is a bottom out in the market to where it's going to set up for a recovery. I think we're going to see a lot lower levels on SPY, and it's going to be a while before the market takes a bullish turn. That's just my opinion. So, all right, Todd, what is the plan of the day?
So, predictive oncology, POAI. We told people we're going to have an epic show, talk about a couple things. We don't have a special guest from Bob or Mel or even their new PR director, Teresa. But one of the things that's happening in the marketplace is that, or in our world, James, especially James and Johnny and I, we get asked a lot of questions about POAI. Like, we have some insider information, and we quite simply, we just don't. And I think that when we tell people that, they don't believe us. So the idea or the conversation came up a couple of days ago. Let's ask for a meeting. Let's reach out. They've got this new PR person, Teresa Ferguson. She's already responding to people on Twitter with the news that let's ask for a conversation with leadership so we can ask questions and hear some positive news. So I literally have a tweet from my personal Twitter account I'm getting ready to hit send here in the live show. It says, "Congrats, Teresa. Welcome aboard as a shareholder. We'd love to hear from leadership. How about a live stream, live Zoom, where we can ask questions that would build shareholder trust and morale? Thanks."
And that's pretty much, like, if you guys want to jump on this email campaign with us, that's pretty much all you need to write. Just keep it short, sweet, and concise. Be respectful. That's the main thing. Be respectful. And, you're talking from your point of view as being a shareholder. And I know a lot of people, and I don't know why people are like this, but I know a lot of people are going to hear this and they are holding shares. A lot of them will probably be holding a lot of shares of predictive oncology, and they're just going to ignore it. And that's cool, but this is your investment. Keep that in mind. And the more the squeaky wheel gets the grease, the more that someone will wait. I think I said that wrong. Anyways, y'all get the point. Like, the more we sit here and request like a Zoom conference call with them, the more they have to listen to us. We are shareholders. And I can't put words in their mouth, but a smart company, and you guys can say whatever you want, just out of frustration, whatever. When I say that, but a smart company would hear out their shareholders, and a smart company of their size would put on a conference call to where we could ask these questions to them. There's a lot of shit that needs to be aired out, and honestly, to be frank, I'm tired of y'all accusing me for shit that the company is doing. I don't have control over the damn company at all. I don't know how I became in charge of predictive oncology. So this is what needs to be done. We need to start an email campaign. Being respectful. That's the main thing, guys. Like, a lot of y'all, I swear to God, don't know what respect is. But you need to be respectful. Writing them, emailing them, and talking shit, bashing them, threatening them, like, that is not going to get you anywhere. They honestly, from my past experiences and hearing a lot of y'all's emails that were written before, they think that a lot of y'all are psychos. And
well, they get a lot of it, but the reality is that they have had some smaller group meetings early on where James was invited in, and it was purposely planned the way they did it. And it wasn't just James, it was several other people. But they're at a point now where clearly they ran the stock up over $1 for 10 days to get NASDAQ compliance. And now it's back down. They're going to get another non-compliance letter. So they're in control of what's going on. They need to share some news with us to build some trust and some confidence.
Exactly. The one thing that has aggravated me with them, and I've told one of them in the past that they were simply just wrong, is they try to blame the shorts coming in. Now, while a lot of bears have been jumping on this stock, the bears are not the ones who are really tearing this down. I mean, they chip away at it, but they're not like tearing it down the way that a certain individual try to make it sound out to be. I mean, the penny flippers are going to do their thing. I mean, the penny flippers do beat it down, but to each their own. I mean, if they're making money, you can't fault them for making money. As for the large account holders, we simply can't penny flip this thing just because we have too many shares. And if we tried to flip and turn that many shares, it's just going to turn into, it's just going to be chaos. So what I'm trying to say here is, talking about that last push up on a daily chart, and I'll share it right now. Actually, I'm not even sharing my chart. Hold on.
While he's pulling up the chart, a couple of people have asked in the comments about, are we talking about Twitter? Are we talking about email? The answer is yes. Feel free to use Twitter. Feel free to use LinkedIn. She's on LinkedIn. Feel free to use a personal email. I would just keep it short, simple, and sweet.
All right. So clearly, this last push up to regain compliance over $1, clearly they hold enough control to make this happen. This thing just didn't bounce off of a quote unquote support and go up to a little over $1 and hold there for 10 days exactly, and then tank after they got the compliance letter from NASDAQ again. This was controlled. And if we're going to be honest, this is what you call manipulation. So they do have control over the stock price. And I mean, if I'm just going to be honest here, this wasn't no competitor trying to get their stock price up. This wasn't just some random market maker or institution just thinking, oh, you know what? Let's bounce predictive off the 70-cent range and take it up to $1.03, $1.04. We'll hold it there for 10 days to do them a solid to get compliance back, and then we'll drop it. No.
Right.
They have a connection, or somehow them as a company obviously can control this to an extent. I mean, they whatever they did got them compliance back, which we can't complain about that. But the way I see it is, if they can do that push up right there to get compliance back and keep it there above $1 for 10 days, they can simply start pushing this bitch up the way that we see that it should. I mean, per Bob and Mel, we're the real deal. And if they're the real deal, their PPS value needs to start reflecting it. It's been a damn year. It's beyond time. They need to put up or shut up. You know, like the saying goes, either shit or get out the pot. And they need to do something. I mean, it's just that simple. They need to do something. I thought that was you for a second. I was like, damn.
Duke.
So yeah, I don't know. We need to call a meeting. We need to open up the lines of communication. I know that they were in their little blackout period for X amount of weeks, but they need to be more open with shareholders and establish a relationship here. We're the only ones who have kept them in business. They've gotten everything that they wanted from us. I mean, we literally voted in everything to get them where they needed to create success, per their words. It's time for them to reciprocate this. So we need to approach this in a diplomatic way. We don't need people being crazy, emailing them, like threatening stuff. Like I've seen some of those emails. Like some of y'all in the past went way overboard. We don't need to do that. We need to be diplomatic and respectful. And we need to bring them to the table. And I feel like this is our opportunity with Teresa.
So I think it's also needs to be said that when I saw the PR and James and I were talking about it, my first reaction was, this is good news. Like, you don't hire a marketing person before you have something to market. When you're getting ready to go to the marketing point and promoting, that's when you bring a professional on. And she's been in the game for 20 years. And she doesn't come from the bio world. She doesn't come from the science world. She comes from a marketing background. She's been involved in different companies, different branding. So her knowledge and experience, I think, may be good to be an outsider to come in with a fresh set of eyes, fresh set of ideas. So I'm looking forward to hearing and seeing what she can do with the marketing team and investor relations and Bob and Mel.
Yep. So let's see. I'm going to answer a question from Eric. Why would we have to force them to do this? They should be begging us to have a meeting. I mean, I can see your point. But at the same time, they are a company, trying to create a product here, or, they suppose they already have it created, but they're trying to lock down deals and whatever else they're doing. We ain't talking about like Merck or Pfizer or anything like that. They do have a small operating team. And a lot of those people are wearing multiple hats. So like for a lot of these things to kind of like pan out and set up meetings and whatnot, they have to move their schedule around quite a bit, and multiple people have to. In the investor meetings that I've had with them in the past, there were people across the country, wherever they were, who had to step back from the operation side, like talking to different scientists. They had to step back and go to certain areas to have these conversations. A lot of stuff had to be ran through compliance first. That thing kind of prevents like smaller companies from really being out there with their shareholders, I guess to say, just because they have so much going on. But now with this new lady in, Teresa, this is somebody who actually, like, this is their job. You know, before it was Bob, the CFO.
Which we never understood that, quite honestly. Like, we literally scratched our head and said, why is Bob? And the reason being is they didn't have a person like Teresa on board.
Yes. So really, like, to just go ahead and nip this in the butt and start it off fresh out the gates. This is what we need to do. They need to hear us, and we need to open up those lines of communication. Like, I'm sure that they already have their own plans, but we need to speed this shit up. That's all I'm saying. Let them know how we feel and where we stand. I mean, they do get information passed back to them from social media, but at the end of the day, I mean, it's not them as individuals sitting there monitoring our stuff, or at least, you know, I don't know if they are or not, but they need to hear directly from us. We need to approach them, and really, us approaching them shows, hey, we're serious. We're tired of this shit. It's time to start shaking these guys down. You know what I'm saying? So, Eric, hopefully that kind of answers your question. We could go in there and shake them down for our money.
All right. So to recap what we're talking about is we're encouraging shareholders to reach out to POAI leadership, their new marketing exec, Teresa Ferguson, and say, and you want to identify yourself as a shareholder and that you would like to hear from leadership. And we'd like to hear a plan, and make sure your message is positive. You can do it through Twitter. You can do it through a private email. You can do it through your LinkedIn. I do think there's value.
You can do it through your Tinder. I'm just saying. hit Bob up on your Tinder.
I do think there's value in that your communication isn't some like a Twitter handle that says Mary Jane 420 fire rockets. Like, you want it to be where they can identify you as a real person, not like you're some
bot.
Yeah, some bots. Yeah. So, like, if you use your LinkedIn, I think that's good. I started following her on my LinkedIn profile. My name's with my Twitter handle. If you use an email, obviously you can use an email that identifies. So I think we get a lot more traction with a positive request. Request is the key word there, positive request versus a demand. And because they don't want us bombarding them. So they're like, hey, if we can deal with this and tie along some of the information we're doing, hopefully they'll listen.
Yeah. And I have seen the question presented to me, and the question was basically stated as, well, James, you hold the platform, they listen to you, why don't you reach out to them? Yes, I could do that. But the thing is that's the issue here. While I can have a meeting with them and, take your questions, get them answered, and pass that information back to you guys need the opportunity to be able to speak with them and ask those questions. You guys need to hear it straight from the horse's mouth instead of me relaying it back to y'all. There have been so many times to where, and this is why I don't even, publicly speak about my conversations anymore, because so many people have taken my information, twisted it, and abused it, and it just causes more problems. So you guys need to be the ones who ask the questions and hear it for yourself, just so there's no confusion coming into the future.
All right, we are under 8 minutes to the market. That was our big news that we wanted to share. It was funny for me to read get the reach out. It's like, what's going on? Who are you gonna have come on? You have Bob lined up. You have Mel lined up.
Man,
so,
speaking of Bob, my Tinder comment, I know good and well Karen Graham's looking him up right now. She's finding his profile, swiping right as hard as she can on that. Oh, all right, guys. Todd, do you have anything else for today?
I don't. Looking forward to seeing you guys' communication sent to POAI.
All right, everybody. So remember, trade safe, trade smart, and we will catch y'all in the next one.